Hey, do you like playing with paint, paper, glue, scissors, inks, dyes, gel plates? My name's Lee Elks and I love to play around with all of those things and create mixed media art and make junk journals. So on that note, let the creating begin. Hello again, it's Lee here. Welcome to week 45 of the Margarete Miller Weekly Collage Assignment Challenge. The prompts for week 45 are something that reminds you of your grandmother. So my grandmother was a pretty incredible person. She was very artistically talented. She was a wonderful golfer. She'd put her hand at anything really, and she passed away in 2008. She was 96 when she passed away, and she achieved some wonderful things in her life, and one of them was getting her driver's license at the age of 60. She was a golfer, but she didn't start golfing till I think she was in her 50s, and on one occasion she got a hole in one. So this is her scorecard from that day. So number 6 hole at the Wyra Golf Club. This picture in the background is of her sitting in the cafe or tea room that she used to run. It was called the Flying Saucer. And when she was first married to my grandfather, it was during the Depression. Well, Granddad took a job on a scheme in New Zealand where they were, just zoom out, building a pass through over a river and bridge and everything in the top of the South Island of New Zealand. That is the tent that my father was born in. So all the workers, they lived in these tents, and they were on like a wooden floor thing. So when they'd complete the bit of the job that they were doing, they'd take the tents out into the river and float them down to the next place where they were going to be working. It was pretty tough times. So it was, as I said, during the Depression, and it snows there, so you imagine what living in a tent in the snow would have been like. So that was back in the 30s, 1930s. So this is my father, Michael, and I'm not sure who that lady is with Nana, but that's Nana there, and that's Granddad with my father, and that's Nana and Granddad and my father. Another picture of them together. So pioneering people in a way. Okay, so weather. I have a picture from a National Geographic magazine of a spider's web with frost on it, so I'm going to use that. My something musical is a bird, so I love the birds. I'm not sure what sort of song these ones in particular make, but they were the images I found. But I have some beautiful bird song outside our window in the mornings. So something in watercolour. I've got this book that I was just mucking around doing some watercolour with line and wash sketches, so I think I'll just pull out one of these flowers, or cut out one of these flowers and pop that into my collage. And my favourite word, hello. It's a wonderful word. Okay, so I'm going to get that started and cut my bits and bobs out, get them ready to go on. I thought of putting that down as my base, but I don't want to ruin any of the photos. This one, I don't know if you can see it, it's actually a double exposure. There's a dog there, so over the whole of the photo in the bottom half. I've sorted my composition out, and this is what I'm going to do. Now, I decided not to go with the frosty cobweb. I felt that the colours just didn't match in with what I was trying to achieve, and I'm having second thoughts about that flower. I think I will use a different one. So I've got this one. I think this colour suits the scheme of what I'm doing a bit better, so I'll work that into that. Last week when I did this one, I stamped underneath a tissue and then glued the tissue on top. I stenciled, sorry. So I'm thinking I'll do the same thing with my word hello. I'll stamp all over that and then put this piece of tissue, which is what I used underneath that page to protect the rest of the book. First thing I need to do though is just to tack those things there together. So I'm just going to quickly do that so I can move that off as one one piece, and I won't forget how I had it arranged. And I'm just using those words which came out of a Daphne's diary, so they're going to be my weather. Just pop that in there like that. I want the tent showing. Imagine living in a tent in the snow. Though they had a fire. There was a fire inside the tent. Apparently it was pretty comfortable. As I said, they had the wooden floor. But still wouldn't have been that nice. And my auntie was telling me that when Nana went into labour, that Granddad had to walk some distance through the snow to get to a doctor. Okay, so I'm just going to do some stamping over that and then stick the tissue down on top of it. I want that to be super wrinkly. Okay, so you can just see it underneath there. I'm just going to tear off that edge. Leave a little bit of overhang on it. Oops. So I have a little piece of paper here that I'm going to stamp the word on as well. I'm going to use Vintage Photo to do that. So I'll stamp that a couple of times and then I'll fit another hello or two in there maybe somewhere. Wouldn't stamp very well. Looks better. So one more. And just let that sit there for a bit. Cut this one out. I might just tear around that actually. And we'll ink around the edge. I'm going to ink around the edge of this. So that's not the original scorecard. That's a scanned copy. It actually, it almost looks better than the original though. Surprising. Okay. Now, just going to roughly ink that edge. That to go on there. Then I've got this flower to pop in. There, I think. And then my word, hello. I'm not going to use the bonus, which is a calendar page. Put that down there. Actually, let's just move everything up a bit higher. Put that there. And then put the hello over the top like that. Just ink around that. I hope you're all well and happy. Week 45, it's hard to believe. That means there's only 7 more weeks before this is finished for the year. Looking forward to seeing what the prompts are going to be next year. Can't wait to see them. And I want to say thanks to everybody who responded to the post I put on my community page, because I've sort of just been feeling a bit lackluster lately and not much mojo. And got some beautiful suggestions. So something that I missed out on last year, I saw it sort of a bit late in the month to be able to take part in, was Ephemerember with Louise Heinzel and Barbara. And I'm going to make a journal for my ephemera to go into. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's really got me inspired and motivated again to start creating. So thanks to everybody for your suggestions. I haven't discarded any of them, but I am going to do Ephemerember first. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down, and I think I'll need a wet glue. I wonder if I could stick that in there too. Maybe I should. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down there. I cut it out of the book, so it seems a shame not to use it. Another suggestion was Inktober, which I thought about it like a while back, maybe last year, and I sort of thought, oh, it's a bit too drawing based for me, but I mean, you can do stuff like that. It doesn't have to be just straight drawing. So yeah, something I'll consider for next year. Oh, there's also another version of Inktober, which is called Inktober 52, where it's a monthly drawing. I can't seem to find too much information about that yet, so see how we go. But I think Junk Journal January and Ephemerember is going to keep me pretty busy. Okay, so that's my collage. So I've got something that reminds me of my grandmother. I've got weather. I've got something musical, which is my bird. Something in watercolour, which is my two flowers. Well, this one's not inked, is it? Should have thought of that before I stuck it down. Never mind. And my favourite word, which is hello. Imagine what the world would be like without the word hello. So I might just do a little bit of scribbling and so forth on that. What colour? I used a rose gold sort of gel pen last week, and that turned out really nicely. I might to actually write over one of these. Oops. That'll do for that one. Just going to go around the edge a bit, make it look like it's been stitched on. And I think maybe some splashes. Might use the rusty hinge. See how that turns out. Ooh. just going to smush that on that other side so it doesn't go to waste. Rightio, that's week 45 of Margarete Miller's collage challenge completed. We'll see you in the next video. So cheers from Australia. Hooroo.